In this video, I'm going to be showing you what makes a good email campaign convert for an e-commerce brand. My name is Noah, and I help brands increase their profitability, recover more lost sales, and engage customers to build brand loyalty. I've done this all over the past 12 months by optimizing email design, writing engaging email copy, and creating retention strategy. Let's jump right into the video. The first thing that I want to go over when it comes to email campaigns is really going to understand what categories they can fall into. Now, campaigns are able to fall into two different categories, one being promotional and the other being educational. Now, on the left side of it being promotional, we have things like flash sales, free shipping on all orders, and site-wide off sales. Now, these are obviously more for sales-based campaigns. These are going to be what drive sales. And then we have the educational, which is things like tips and tricks, benefits of products, how-to guides, and things of that nature, just educating customers on what the brand is about and really what our products contain and educating them further to be able to build brand loyalty. Now, why we need to send emails that are educational is because it nurtures customers. It's going to build trust and credibility. It's going to encourage repeat purchases, improve purchase confidence, and increase customer loyalty. Now, when we think about emails, they really fall into two different types of, well, not two different types, but it falls into two buckets that we need to cover here in this video, which is going to be email design and email copywriting. And so what we will do is we'll start off with the effective email design because I feel like this is often overlooked and I really want to touch on this a lot. So the main thing here with effective email design is going to be your email layout and your content optimization. Now, in your email layout, we need to focus on things like above the fold, below the fold, and mobile optimized. So that's what we need to focus on for email layout. And then content optimization, we need to make sure that we have matching colors. You don't really want it to look like an eyesore and have multiple colors that just don't blend with each other. And you want to make sure things are standing out. You want to have multiple CTAs focused on one main idea. So if you are educating customers about your greens pill, you want to make sure that your call to action is centered around the greens pill throughout the whole email. We don't want to switch it up to be greens pill and then greens juice and then greens powder. We want to keep one idea, one call to action across the whole email. And then we want to make sure that we have skimmable content. This is going to be things like quick, punchy copy, and really make sure that the email flows well when it comes to transitions. Now, touching on above the fold and below the fold is what we will get onto here, which is also part of the effective email design. And when it comes to above the fold and below the fold, I am talking about hero section as being above the fold, and then anything below that is considered the bridge section, product section, category section, whatever. This is just the typical email layout. And for this, you want to make sure that in your hero section, you have one hero image or a collage of multiple images of that one product. You don't want to have a lot of them unless it is something like a welcome email. Then it is okay to have quite a bit of different images, and you want to have a header that's really 5 to 7 words here because you want it again to be skimmable, punchy. Header slash body copy is always optional. Here you want to make sure that if you do have a subheader, it's just touching on a little bit more about what your header is. So, for example, if let's say it's around Christmas time right now, we do a campaign that is around a gift guide. We can say something like your go-to gift guide. So that would be our header, and then we can say for the body copy or subheader, give the gift of love with AG1 Superfood or AG1 Super Green or whatever it is, right? That is what I mean by subheader or body copy as optional there, and then a clear call to action based on that. So again, if it is the gift guide, you're just going to want to center it around the gift guide. So either it can be like, see what's hot, or um, start gifting, right? Test your call to actions. But again, you want to make sure that that call to action is just focused around the header and the subheader. And then the bridge section is going to be below the fold. So that is where we have 1 to 3 punchy sentences more in depth on the topic of the email, which could just be further based on, if we're going off of the gift guide here, we can say like, gifts don't have to be boring. This year it's made easy for you. Check out what others are buying for their loved ones. That's it. That's all you have to have. And then a call to action again that reminds them to see what's hot, or check out what's selling, you know. And then product section is where we just showcase some of the best sellers and categories to shop by, which is optional. But in this case, if we're going off of that gift guide, we're just going to show what is selling quick and selling hot. So that is going to be the effective, really, email design when it comes to e-commerce emails. Now, there is one more category that we need to cover that is very, very important and often overlooked, but they're equally as important, I would say. But the main thing that moves the needle is having good email design and good copywriting. You don't need to have great copywriting. As long as you follow these principles with what I'm about to teach you, you should be good to go. Now, I've used these principles with the 7 and 6 figure brands that I've worked with, and never once have we ever ran into any issues with, our customers not engaging with the content or resonating with the content. So, how you want to go about writing is, you really need to touch on what makes people like your brand. What is your brand built off of? Is it the community that your brand has? Is it the products that your brand have? Is it things like your brand values, right? If it is, then you're going to want to focus on the community aspect of your brand when you write copy. Is it the product? You're going to want to focus on benefits of what your product does for people and the benefits of those benefits. So, if one of the benefits of drinking AG1 is that I will consume 75 plus multivitamins, you want to go deeper into that topic and make it a different email. There's another email idea for you. Make it about 75 ingredients and why those ingredients are beneficial. And then you can even break down why each one is beneficial in another email. There's like 30 emails. There you go. You can easily break that down and have a lot of things. So once we really find out what is making our customers like our brand, we can speak to them in a way that makes them want to buy. And the best part here is that you want to sort of include them in the copy rather than them being a customer, if that makes any sense. Now, what I mean by that is, you want to have them included into the brand and really speak to them like as if you guys were best friends. If that makes any sense. I know that may sound confusing, but if not, then just disregard that. We want to really focus on keeping our copy short here. So the less words, the better, but we also don't want to sacrifice quality. You don't want to make it sound like it was like, got time tomorrow, question mark, instead of saying like, do you have time tomorrow, question. You want to make sure that we don't sacrifice the quality here. And the key thing is to really avoid using fluff and to make it clear and concise. And the next thing that we really want to focus on when it comes to copy is that your angle matters a lot. So whenever we go about writing, it's super important to always have an angle. Now, this can be things like a problem your customers face, handling objections, and so on. But without an angle, our copy is essentially going to do nothing for us. And a good angle, or a good sort of way to think about this, is when I first got started out with doing e-commerce email marketing, I oftentimes never had an angle when I would write copy, and it would just kind of be words on a page. It flowed well, but it never really had any angles to it. It was never touching on a pain point. It was never touching on more about products. It was just kind of expanding on what I would have already said. Now, we don't want to do that. So in this case, make sure that you focus on an angle that is, again, handling objections and a problem that your customer is facing with your product being the solution to that problem. And then how to structure writing. Now, I was contemplating between putting this in here or not because I don't want to confuse you, but there isn't really a set structure, but there is a few basics that we can kind of go over and really know sort of how to write and to keep it concise. Now, for your header, you want to keep this like 5 to 7 words. For your subheader, you want to make it a one-liner, like I mentioned earlier in the video. The body copy, again, mentioned earlier in the video, you want to keep it 2 to 3 sentences, focusing on the audience. Now, keep in mind, these are just basics and aren't really limited to what is said throughout this whole video. But as long as you have a good information, as long as you have good information to give to your customers and it's valuable, feel free to add more. Just don't add too much to where you're scaring them off and they don't want to read anymore. Now, I did bring some examples of what is some good copy here. So the main thing here in this one is the header and the subheader. So we are the talk of the town. Our customers say it best. Shop all bags. Super simple. That is what I mean by skimmable, and it is also what I mean by above the fold. And do you see that reverse triangle, how it comes down to the call to action? Very good email. There's nothing much more to say about it. And then we have this one here by Born Primitive, the ultimate cropped tee, the Revival Collection. Again, just touching on what this is a part of, the Revival Collection, and then a call to action with Shop Now. And then here's what I meant from body copy. So cut from ultra soft cotton and finished with added stretch that moves with you. We promise you won't want to take off this tee. That is good and engaging and playful copy, and is something that I wanted to kind of touch on going back to the copywriting section. So again, keep it playful, keep it punchy, and have it be fun. Your emails don't have to be boring when you make them. And just like this one from Gains in Bulk, it's back to school season, so we thought we'd keep you educated on our Insta that is creatine. We know long classes can be painfully boring, so we kept it short and sweet. Here are 4 most frequently asked questions. Concise. This email is concise. Love it. It's amazing. And so when we kind of do email design, there is how we can kind of break this up. And we have the reverse triangle here, which is more centered towards body copy and headers and hero sections in general. And then we have our zigzag pattern, which is a good way to also structure copy and or products that you are showcasing. And then the stacked pattern is also another way to showcase copy or products. Now, if you're doing copy for stacked pattern, you can have big bold header on the left and then body copy on the right in regular font. Or if you're doing it with a product section, you can do a image of the product and then a little bit further about what the product is about in general. But there is one thing that I do want to quickly go over here. And this is also just another amazing way to structure emails. Now, as we can see here, when I talk about engaging and fun emails, Brockshot and Wild Wonder do it best. So here on the left from Brockshot, we have an educational email, as we can tell, just telling us a little bit about more of their greens powders. Now, it's giving us educational content and how it stacks up versus other types of supplements. So this can be a really good email if you do it properly, just like how Brockshot did. So I highly recommend that if you are a supplement brand watching this video, that you do take this into account and start using things like this. And they're not even calling out competitors either. They're just calling out generic things that other people may be using to supplement in their greens. And then we have this amazing email from Wild Wonder. It's National Self-Care Day. Self-care starts with your gut because you can only feel your best when your gut is happy too. Happy gut, happy life. And then it goes about what a happy gut can do. And then asks you what your favorite flavor is. Now, this is a really fun, engaging email, and as you can see, there's not a lot of copy in here. It's skimmable. I can read it quick. Very, very, very good campaign. This is something that I would definitely take notes on how to structure campaigns. And as you can see, how their copy here is a reverse triangle, a reverse down to the call to action. Guys, these are strategies that I've been using with all of the 6-7 figure brands that I've been working with, and we absolutely kill it, including Black Friday, which was very amazing for us. So if you did like this video, I'd appreciate it if you can leave a like, drop a comment, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more weekly things on e-commerce email marketing. And I will leave the first link in the description as my 12 training, so you can go ahead and see exactly what it is you need to get your brand off the ground with email marketing. So I'll see you guys on the next one.